Welcome back to On the One. Today we have Scott from T12 Distillery. Scott,
Welcome, right? Thank you.
how are you doing today?
It's another beautiful day in Iowa, I like to say.
So, what does T12 mean?
So the meaning behind the name is what we're looking at, right? So T12 is my vertebrae, the injury level that I sustained in a spinal cord injury. Oh, it's right near 16 years ago here now, August 28th of 2010.
Oh, wow.
I fell over a retaining wall and then suffered, my T12 vertebrae just shattered and it got into my spinal cord. So that's where the name came from, and the broken spinal cord's even in our logo.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, when it's explaining that to people, like, what are the kind of reactions you get?
Yeah. Usually it's oh, I'm sorry, right? I mean, but it's been so long, right? I've adapted, moved on from that, right? But yeah, it's a little bit of a shock at first, right? But once our brand gets out there, people will start to understand us and what we're about.
100%, yeah. So, coming from construction, what made you turn over into distillery?
Right. So, my whole career has been in construction. I would say, probably about 5-6 years ago, we became an ESOP, or employee owned.
Mm-hmm.
So Heartland Companies is employee owned now. And at that point, I just started looking for my next passion, and what was it? Always enjoyed a good bourbon, a good whiskey, and then just started digging into that a little bit more and the science behind it. Took some hands-on training down in Louisville, and I just kind of fell in love with the process.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to like recipes and all, are you doing that all yourself?
Between myself and our distiller Flint, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. We do our own research, and we're gonna come up with that.
Wow, that's amazing, actually.
Yeah. Like for instance, the gin. We're gonna get ready to start experimenting on that. And I don't know if you know much about gin, but there's botanicals, or basically it's herbs and flowers and stuff that make that flavor. It's predominantly one type, juniper, but you got to come up with what that recipe is. So we got a little test still that holds about 1,000 milliliters in it, and we're going to start creating our own batches and just testing it and tweaking it and seeing what we need to do from there on. So that'll be one of the first products that we get out, hopefully here later this fall.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So like when choosing flavors, like what's your flavor profile?
Yeah. So for the gin, it's just my personal one. I don't like one that's quite so much juniper.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would call that a London dry. So it's a little tamed down, or it's American gin, I think is another name, is what we kind of been calling it around here. So, but for whiskey, there's a whole variety of that, right? It depends on what type you like. Bourbon's more of my favorite. And actually one that we have produced here in the past, and I know we will have coming up, is it's a whiskey that's aged then additionally in a Cabernet barrel. Oh, wow. So that imparts a little bit of that wine flavor, or at least the sweetness, into the whiskey.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So a little bit back into the construction, because I'm looking around and this is a beautiful building.
It is.
Did you construct this, or design?
No. So when we purchased Foundry, basically, and did the deal, this is a rented facility.
Oh, wow.
So it's the Foundry building, and it does have quite a history dating back a long time ago in the railroads. They used to pull them. These used to be, well, they still are garage doors, but large garage doors that they would pull the cars into here with, and then they would work on them and repair them. In fact, in the space next door, there's a little remnant of a turntable. They used to bring them in and then just rotate the whole car. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's a beautiful building.
Yeah, I can't get over the brick walls.
Oh yeah,
feels like home.
I wish they'd stop shedding, though. Old brick walls end up leaving a little bit of dirt down in the corners every now and then. So so we're constantly cleaning.
Okay. So your Bondurant location.
Yeah.
What made you outsource to Bondurant of all cities?
Why did we pivot here, right? Well, Bondurant, I live just north. I'm out in the country. It's an Elkhart address, but kind of Bondurant's kind of been a little hometown for me in that area, and I've been living there for 15, 16 years now going on. I think 16. 1 year before my accident, moved to the house. And what really caught my eye, originally in Bondurant, was the old co-op, the old concrete towers that are there, and that kind of started the wheels turning. Right, we will still be there eventually. We designed a beautiful building that's part of the silo structures, and it's just too expensive to build something like that on a startup.
How much does it cost?
It was around 10 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so this opportunity came along. First started talking in I believe February, came to a deal, and then 3 months later, boom. So basically June 1 is when we took possession. And this will allow us to get started, existing facility, beautiful facility, as you've stated, right? And we can hold events. We've got the bar that's open on certain days. Got equipment. I'm adding a few more pieces. And we've got inventory, right? So we can immediately start selling, and hopefully not going too negative right? All distilleries start out that way.
Indeed.
But we're trying to get that moving, trying to start making some income, not only to get a track record, to be able to then start a facility in Bondurant also, but there's a philanthropic side to T12 as well, and we want to be able to give a portion of our profits to spinal cord research.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so we got to make money to do that.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
So coming from construction again,
Yeah.
how do you handle your poor costs and numbers that way?
I started in construction as an estimator, project manager, right? So learning all about construction and the type of work that we did, learning how to put figures together. And then, just over the time of my career, I've gotten to a point where now our CEO and we partner together and run the company, right? So I feel that I've got great skills at putting a team together, which we have done, and we've got a great group of people here. And I know a little bit about business, right? It's a different business, granted, right? And I still need to learn more about how all the tax structure and the government and I don't know if you know that, but every single bottle that you see on the shelf, that label gets approved by the government.
Yeah. Every
single one, right? So that's a lot of time and everything invested in it. So it's a little bit of a learning experience, but familiar with working with spreadsheets and planning and trying to move things forward.
Okay, so what do the next 5 to 10 years of T12 look like?
Let's start with one. As I mentioned, we're adding some new equipment. So one thing that the facility wasn't doing was handling their own grain. So we'll be grain to glass.
Oh, wow.
So we're bringing in our grain, we'll mill it, and we'll cook it here.
That's cool.
And then obviously then the next steps are fermenting, and then you distill it, right? And so I'm hoping in September we can start making our own batches, right? I'm hoping by then also we'll have our own labels, so we'll be able to start putting that out. And I do want to expand our footprint, right? I want to be able to get it into stores too as well. So if you're going to the local liquor store or Hy-Vee, hopefully you can see one of our products over there. So that's kind of this first 6 months, right? And then beyond that, let's get a track record, right? Let's show that we've got a great product that people like, get some repeat business, going to have some great merchandise that people can buy to as well and help with our brand. And then 5 years, I hope we're building a facility in Bondurant by then. But it all depends on this goes, right?
Sure.
And I want to have both locations. I love this spot. And I think, the people on this side don't like to travel too far that way, and the people on the east side don't like to travel that far this way, right? Well, in fact, I've been finding that out, living in Elkhart and then coming here now. It's a little longer commute than I'm used to, but heck, yeah. It's a growth, in a word, probably, growth.
So when building a team, what were you looking for in those people?
It depends on the right one, right? So when I think of a distiller, got to have some great knowledge of chemistry, right? Because distilling is a chemistry project, really is what it is, right? And so a good background with that, or some knowledge of that, knowledge of whiskeys and other spirits too, and I would say a curiosity to do research, to check out other mash bills, other recipes, right, and to come up with, what we hope will be some premier products. When I think of a brand manager of sales, it's a sales oriented position, right, and person who's very personable, wants to go out and meet people and be there where the people are, right. And then general manager, I always joke, Trish, she runs this place, and she's just on the spot, likes to keep things clean, knows our products in and out, knows the bartenders and how we serve, and knows how our event spaces work, right? So it all depends on who it is.
You're right. You're not lying there.
Yeah.
So what did your time in the distillery teach you that 20 years in construction didn't?
That I didn't know chemistry enough. That would be one of them. Yeah, it's just business is business, right? And so there are aspects of all that can be pulled from construction or insurance or alcohol, right? I will say alcohol is probably a little sexier than drywall, right? Hands-on training, just enjoyed that, right? It's a different process. You're taking raw ingredients, grains, like for instance, a bourbon that we'll be doing probably is going to be majority corn. We're going to have wheat. We'll have a little bit of malted barley in it. And then it's not yeast. You pitch the yeast. Enzymes, that is. So majority corn, wheat, a little bit of malted barley. Got to have some enzymes in there to help with that. And then right before you ferment it, there's some yeast that goes into it, which is basically what helps eat up all the sugars. Like I said, it's a chemistry project. And that's what creates the alcohol, right? Which is, it's really interesting is that beer and whiskey start the same, right? They got different types of grain, right? You're working more with hops as you are maybe with some of our products, but you cook it, you ferment it, that's beer.
Yes, sir.
We go one extra step and we boil the alcohol off when we distill it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you got to throw it in a barrel and hope you've got a good product 3 years later. Minimum. Wow. 3 years, probably. Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
You have to be very, very on point with everything.
Right. Usually you start with good quality ingredients, you're going to end up having a good product, generally speaking, right? You don't know if it's going to hit it out of the park, right? It all depends on that aging process, what type of barrel, where the barrel is stored, how it is, what kind of temperature swings, all that. Yeah, there's a science behind it. Yeah. Again, I'm in construction. I'm not a scientist. That's what Flint's for. He does great at that.
Facts. So if you were trying to help a young person get into the distilling business, what would you tell them?
What would I say? Well, go get some good training first, right? I went to a place of all things. It's called Moonshine University.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yeah. And they offer great different topics to go about, but one of them was like it's either a 5 or a 6 day distiller just across the board, right? And you learn a little bit about everything, and in that process, you make a whiskey, right? And everybody got to buy a bottle. You got to buy it because you got to pay taxes and everything on it, right? But it was called bourbon, but it aged for about a half hour. That's wow. Right. That's all you had time for. So it's not right. It's not a real whiskey, but yeah, definitely get some good hands-on experience. Talk to other business owners too on how to run a business, how to create that team. Mm-hmm. Heck, come work for us.
Well, if there's one more message that you would like to give the people.
What is that message? I would say try us out. Hopefully you're going to see our products in the next couple of months. Otherwise, absolutely come to visit us here in Valley Junction. Beautiful space. We are generally open Thursday, Friday evenings, and all day Saturday, afternoon and evening. I hope to expand those. Mm-hmm. I hope to get some entertainment, So we're gonna put this place back on the map,
Yes, sir.
and get some people here and come enjoy a great cocktail.
Sounds good. Come on down. Well, that's our show for On the Line today. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.
Thank you.